I feel very lucky to have had the opportunity to help a lot of people that have struggled with chronic back pain. Back pain that may occur for years in some instances. And these people often tell me that they just have a quote unquote bad back. And I push back on that because I don't often know what that means. That belief could stem from somebody in the medical field, like myself, once telling them that they may always be experiencing discomfort or limitations. It could stem from an image such as an x-ray or an MRI that shows some unfortunate findings. But what we know about images is that if you take experts throughout the medical field and have them try to predict if somebody is experiencing pain based on the image itself, it's not going to be very accurate. There's a lot of people out there who have been struggling with back pain for a long period of time and have a lot of limitations, and their X-ray or MRI looks great. There are many others who feel completely fine, have no issues, can do everything they want to do, but you put them under an image, and then their X-ray or MRI shows disc herniations and all kinds of other different issues. But hey, they don't know, and in that case, it doesn't really matter. What matters is, why are you experiencing back pain right now? Well, if you have chronic back pain, you've been experiencing this for a long period of time, the body's going to try to do something about it. It's going to try to almost splint the spine to make it really stiff, because it feels like if it bends and it moves a lot, an injury could occur. It's just like if we break our arm, we're going to try to put a cast on the arm to allow it to heal and protect itself. Well, our body's way of doing that for your low back is to stiffen up so you're not moving too much there. But if that occurs for long periods of time, then that can present problems. And if we think of the way our back is structured, it is a bunch of building blocks stacked one on top of the other. These building blocks are the vertebrae of our spine, and in between is the disc. It's built that way with these little building blocks one on top of the other so that movement can occur throughout the spine, almost kind of like a snake. Now, your back is not one long bone like these bones in my arm here, right? If I bend right here midway through my arm, I got problems. That's a fracture. Your spine is supposed to be able to move segmentally throughout your spine. But when it's been stiff for a while, we sometimes lose that ability to do that. And as a result, the joints that are a little stiff and haven't been moving as much can break down a little bit, because a lack of movement means they're not getting as much nutrition into those discs and into the area as we need to. So one drill I'll often teach to my clients is a drill called a spinal segmentation, where I'm going to teach them how to move segmentally, one segment through their spine at a time. At least that's the intention of what we're trying to do. By no means does it need to be perfect. And in the video, you can see me taking my wife Deb through that drill itself. Now, of course, they need to be able to move through the spine, hopefully taking it into other drills that teach these attributes. But also, they need to learn to be able to control their back, keep it stable in an effective way by controlling the pressure inside our abdomen during more and more challenging tasks. One of the ways I often teach this drill is simply teach somebody to be able to hold a bear position, where they're not allowing their belly button to drip towards the ground or drop towards the ground, and where they're going to be leaning on their back. So they're actually using their abs to hold them up. They're not holding themselves up with their spine. So they're learning how to keep themselves stable without actually leaning on their back for support, therefore not having to beat it up over and over and over again, which we often see a lot of people do as they get into more and more challenging activities, maybe in their sport, in the weight room, what have you. Assuming they understand how to perform drills like the bear as an example, we then can say, okay, can we mimic those same feelings of feeling the abs, feeling the hips stacked underneath us, all the kinds of things we work on there, and bring that into a more squatting type of movement or something like that vertically, to say, hey, when we do a typical weight room drill, can you feel your abs holding you up instead of your back all the time, to let us know that we have a way of not just relying on leaning on our spine for compression all the time and splinting it all the time for stability, because that's a compensation we'll see from people who have had chronic back pain for long periods of time, is they actually use their spine to hold themselves up pretty consistently against gravity. Now, if you want to see more drills that you can perform to be able to work on some of these strategies, check out the other videos on our YouTube page where we go through a bunch of these. And if you're somebody who has had chronic back pain for a long period of time and think that I just have a bad back, there's nothing I can do about it, this is the way it's always going to be, I'm going to disagree with you there. There are a lot of things you can do about it. And in fact, One of the best approach we have found for addressing chronic back pain is take an active approach where you are learning how you can move a little bit more effectively, because over time, that will make it more and more tolerant to the functional activities that matter to you. If that's something you're interested in learning and getting help with, contact us. We would love to be able to help you.